Oh, sorry, I really need to take
No worries,
this.
go for it.
Yo, bro. I'm in Crep Select. It's opposite. It's near JD's.
Vic, how you doing? Say you well?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
We're here at the launch of your second project off of a 3-part project. So
Yeah.
essentially a trilogy of
project.
mixtapes.
Yeah.
I'm doing all the talking. You tell us all about it, mate.
It's a trilogy project. So yeah, today we're celebrating the release of the part 2 of the project, which is Progression. So it's themed in 3 parts. So part 1 Pain, part 2 is Progression, and part 3 is Lifestyle.
You launched at Morley's.
Talk
to me about what's the significance of that for you?
It's a trilogy mixtape separated into 3 parts. So part 1's Pain, part 2 is Progression, part 3 is Lifestyle. And so today's the release of part 2. We launched it with Morley's. I wanted to do something with Morley's. As you know, Morley's chicken shops are a staple in the city. So for me, it was like, okay, cool. It would be an amazing thing to do something like an activation with them. I got in touch with them. They were really open and reliable, and was really willing. So the idea was to give free food to young people between the hours of 12 o'clock till about 3 o'clock across like multiple Morleys. And for me, that was significant to me because I remember hanging around outside those exact same Morleys because I'm from Lewisham, so exact same Morleys. And sometimes I didn't have money to get myself some wings and chips, and I was be in there trying to bargain with the guy, and they're like, "Can I get some wings, some extra wings or something?" So to be able to provide that for young people, for me, it was just about, it's like a full circle moment for me, and it was just. And not only that as well, sometimes when I used to hang around outside the Morleys, I wasn't always pro-social. So it was good to go back to the same people that work the phone, the same owners, and be like, okay, cool, like, let's turn this around. So it was quite a funny conversation, and they were like, well, you of all people were Morleys, and
So they still remember you,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it's my local. So it's like they're like, and it was just amazing for people to come, for them to allow me to do that. And yeah, so we fed a bunch of young people for free and stuff like that. So yeah.
Talk about the need to be seen involved in projects like that, because there's the optics, isn't there? These youngsters saw you grow up. They're probably going to be doing what you're doing, what you was when you was a teenager and stuff like that. So talk about the value in, presenting an initiative like this so that they can see there's something else.
I think, yeah, so when I always look inward, right, but when I do stuff. So my initial thing was like, when I was growing up, I couldn't see the positive influences. It wasn't visible amongst peers or just generally. So for me, I always thought, okay, what would be, what would I want my representation to be? If I was given a platform, how would I represent it? And for me, everything I do, I owe it to the village. I feel like that. And for me, I wish when I was like 13, 14, somebody told me it was going to be all right. Just work harder and be patient, rather than give me an easy option. And so for me, with the young people doing something like that, I hope that they come there and it resonates with them. Like, this is somebody from the same village. Like, and I've got the experiences and went through, whatever path they're thinking about walking down. I probably walked down those paths already and came back round. So it's like, I want them to be able to go home and realize that, oh, there's someone from here that's doing that. Because I know how much that would have meant to me if I knew anybody like that growing up. Like, what? You mean what? I can just, well, this guy's actually from here. And it's not like I'm super famous or anything or super rich or anything. It's just about, I've got a platform I can utilize it. No matter how small my platform is, I know I can utilize it. It's not always about waiting until you've got the millions to come down and and really and support and work with the people. So for me, I want the community to grow with my journey, because that's what my whole story is about, my experiences in this borough. So how can I not celebrate or activate with them? It wouldn't make sense for me. Not saying I don't want the outside influence or outside support to come in. I'm not saying that, but I think there's no place like home.
I get you. We're at Crep Select, second part of the day. You're keeping it proper in the manner proper hood. I like it. I love it. It's, I just heard one of the fans, their mum actually, talking about how down to earth you are, and I think that's an indictment on the fact that you've kept it 100, with this rollout. So talk about being in Crep Select and just being a youngster. Because it would have been another store I'm not going to mention back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day it would have been a complete other store. Yeah. I remember I went St. Joseph's Academy up the road and I was banned from coming to the centre with my school uniform on. Right. Or certain times, like, Lewisham Centre was the exclusion zone for me with the youth offending team. Like, he's not allowed over there. So it's like, to be here doing this and we're celebrating a moment that is like, for me, it's overwhelming. I haven't even taken it in, and I wanted to be somewhere I'm accessible to the people, where if you didn't make it to Morley's when I was there, you can come to Crop Select and and connect with me personally and directly. So that was, and not only that, there's a bunch of other like local brands that came on board to support the initiative that I got in touch with, and brands like Juice Way, we've got Angel Car Hire, obviously Crepe Select and Chuck Clothing. So, these are, I went to school with some of these guys and it was like, look, I've got this idea, what are you saying? And it was good for us to just come together and do something positive, because I remember being young, we could always get together to do something negative. And it was never the same when it was, the energy wasn't the same when it's positive. So it's good to get to a point where I can reach out to, to those same individuals and they can be like, you know what, actually, yeah, that makes sense. And we could actually do it and pull it off and make it successful and sort of break the stereotype in it that we don't know how to organize ourselves.
Listen, I'm sure we're going to get into it a lot more in a more extended interview, but in terms of this project, what do you see for it? How would you like people to take to it, or do you mind about that? Do you care about that? And what are your hopes for 2021, given what 2020 was like?
I think for me with the project, I'm really happy it resonates with people the way it does. What I would want people to take from it is just, the experiences, because I explained them very vividly. So I feel like if I've been through something, another young person shouldn't have to go through it. So as long as I honestly tell you what that experience was, you should be able to listen and be like, I'm not going to do that because he said he went through that and I'm not trying to go through what he went through. So I would hope to that level, that's what the young people take from it. But generally for me as an artist, it's just to establish myself as like, I am serious about music, because I do multiple other things. People assume Vic's not really, he doesn't care about music. This is all I've always wanted to do. It just so happens, thank God, I was able to be blessed with other opportunities prior to getting in a situation where I could do music to this level.
Well, good luck with everything, man. Like I said, I'm sure we'll catch up again before the year's finished, before part 3 even drops. Anything else you want to say to the fans?
I just want to say thanks for coming down. The Voice, story. I had a subscription with a local news agent when I was away, and I used to get every edition of the Voice newspaper when it came out. Because for me, when the Voice newspaper was introduced, it was like the first community-based sort of reporting that I felt like was focused on black people. And and the culture and stuff like that. So even when I was away, I was tuned in. I always make sure I got the Voice newspaper, because so I'm here talking to the Voice. So it's amazing. So thanks for coming down.